Are we on? We're live. Welcome back.
Oh,
We had a
we're back.
brownout or something. We were right in the middle of talking about, I don't remember because I'm old.
What were we talking about? I don't know, but we are back. Yeah. I don't know. I guess we pissed off Thor, and he sent some thunder and lightning down to brown us out. We're sorry. We still love Marvel.
We still love Marvel. Yeah, there we go. I think, yes. It looks like this one's moving. Or is this the beginning of the... It says nobody's watching. It's impossible because I'm watching.
It's like looking in a mirror.
Yeah, it's weird. All right. We don't have it on the set up front. We can't see ourselves.
So we totally forgot what the hell we were talking about before the brownout.
Right.
We went off on a tangent, and it wasn't even filmed. So maybe that's a good thing. It's like you didn't have to listen to us ramble about something that has nothing to do with what we just talked about anyway.
Right.
So
Yeah, we were talking a little bit about,
I think where we left off was with DC, where they're not introducing a lot of new characters.
New characters,
or anything,
that's
where,
right.
Where Marvel is
introducing a lot of
spitting
new
them out
characters.
like crazy.
And Ken made it, like, after the brownout went, it was like Ken made a really good point that DC's using a lot of writers for hire. They're not, like, giving them exclusive contracts. So guys don't want to give their best ideas.
Yeah.
They don't want to create new characters and have to chase DC down for their
For
tiny
a little
check.
bit of royalty. Yeah, and it's like, if you look at all the stuff, you know, Marvel too. I mean, Marvel's more, they're farther along as far as like the movies and the TV franchises, you know, but they're making billions. And,
Yeah.
you know, like we were talking about before, like a guy like Len Wein, who created Wolverine, who was, you know,
Created Swamp Thing. He created a lot of characters.
Yeah, a lot of characters who have been made into movies and TV. With, you know, I mean, Wolverine was the friggin'
Huge.
He was like what Batman was to DC. You
Oh,
know,
yeah.
For a while ago, he had like 6 or 7 books.
He's in every book.
And you know, I'm pretty sure Len didn't get a big chunk of that change.
Right.
You know, and it was like, it's still the royalties for the intellectual properties are not on the same level with the amount of money that those properties are generating. And I don't know, as a creator, I'd be a little hesitant to create stuff and just give it away, let them do whatever the hell they want with it, and then just, you know, here's a couple of bucks. You know, we made millions, but here's a few hundred. And
Then we kind of got into talking about what we've talked about before, is that it's such a collaboration. Some of the best books, they're like,
Yeah.
Claremont's the best X-Men writer. He wrote for 17 years. But if you're talking about, like, for me, the best Claremont is when he was with John Byrne. I think John Byrne pushed him in certain directions with his art, and probably with fighting over because I heard that they fought a lot and they didn't really like each other, and I was probably
might have been
because
actually a good thing too. Yeah.
well,
yeah.
John Byrne also wrote his own books, and he probably had a lot of suggestions and a lot of things he didn't like about the plots or the dialogue, and you know, maybe they fought over it, and you know, the best work came out, I think.
That's what makes comics great. It is mostly a collaborative medium for the most part. I mean, you have guys that are writer or an artist that do good stuff, but I mean, and that's the thing with movies. Like, if you look at movies, it was like the collaboration's always better than the single guy's
Right.
vision. I mean, but if you look at Star Wars, George Lucas gets all the credit, but it wouldn't look or sound or be anywhere near as cool if you didn't have the horde of production artists and production designers and guys that really took his ideas. I mean, without his ideas, granted, there's nothing, you know, he's the core, but it's all these other guys that he surrounded himself with, and for whatever reason, whether it was by dumb luck or just he's good at finding the right people, he found the right people to you know, make his vision good. But without those people, it was like it probably wouldn't be anywhere near as big a phenomenon as it is now, you know? And that's the collaboration.
And some bands were like that. Some bands, like
some of the best bands, it was like, it's not usually the one
guy,
show. Yeah.
Right. Even though he's the front man, like a lot of these guys get credit, and they may have been writing the lyrics, but you know, some things that the hooks are laid over like bass lines and
Oh yeah, it's a,
that people
with a
fall in love
really.
with. And
I think if you follow any kind of really good band, it's the same thing. It was like the collaboration just makes it. I mean, for me personally as a musician, that's one of my favorite parts of playing music is the collaborative.
back and
Collaborative
forth
thing.
and
Yeah, because
creating something amazing.
because we actually we went in the studio this weekend and recorded a new album for Rooms of Ruin. So we'll have more on that later. But yeah, it's just like songs that I wrote. Like I say, I wrote the song, but it's not. Once I bring it to the rest of the band, it was like it becomes a whole different animal. And 9 times out of 10, way better than I envisioned it in my head. And same token with you get a good creative team working on whatever it is. It's probably going to be better with the extra people putting in their input.
100%.
But I think it's what you get out of it too.
Right.
If you're throwing all this stuff, whether you're working for a big company or small company or whatever it is, you're throwing all these ideas in. You're throwing your heart and soul in it, and you're really not getting anything back as far as either it's feedback or you're not making money, you're making a living. It was like you should do it for the love of it, but you got to eat too.
Right.
So there has to be that balance, but it's not always easy to achieve.
Yeah, and sometimes it's it could even be an editor, right? It could be an editor that says, "Hey, I like your story, but I'm losing. I don't know where this is going. Do you have a resolution to this? Because if you don't have a resolution to this, the reader won't see the resolution.
Yeah.
Because I'm outside of the story when I'm reading it for you. I see certain things that you don't see as the writer because you know the things because they're coming out of your head.
Yeah.
That's the hardest thing that I like. That's why I need people to read my writing because I'm like, oh yeah, this guy has this background. Well, if there's no exposition for it.
Yeah. If you didn't show it or explain it in some way,
right? An editor or in music, a producer can just tweak up something.
They might hear something you don't hear because you've been listening to the song played 100 times, and I always find that happens sometimes in the studio when you're playing because there you can hear every little thing. So if you hit a wrong note, something sour, it's you're like you notice it right away, but sometimes you don't, and it takes that you have that extra person that just says hey is that supposed to sound like that? That sounds a little weird. You listen to it back, you're like, oh yeah, that's sour, and it's good. And I think editors, I don't think get enough credit either.
They don't,
because the good ones just steer the writer and the artist, and kind of nudge them in this direction and that. They're not. You should definitely let the creators create, but you may need to keep them on track, course correct every once in a while, just to make sure the story's flowing. I
don't even know. Do they even have an art editor? I think they just have an editor for the writers, right? To make sure that there's no.
Well, I imagine when they it's kind of like both at the same time. Like I'm sure the editor gets the pages too and looks at them and be like, yeah, that's not your best work.
They definitely don't have a continuity guy.
Well, that's
especially at DC. They're like, I'm reading 4 different Batman titles, and it's like I'm reading 4 different guys. They all say they're Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's true.
But that's the problem too with all the multiple books is you have multiple voices telling multiple stories, and there's no real cohesion. So it's kind of hard, and he's doing something in this book, and then he's doing something else in that book, and it was like,
well, where's the timelines?
Well, yeah, you could.
When is this happening? When that is happening?
You could drive yourself insane trying to figure that out too. It was like, that's the hard part too. Having character in so many books is because you're not gonna get one. I mean, I guess the core, like we're saying, the Batman has certain personality traits that you recognize as his, but the voice is going to be different depending on who's writing him, and it could get confusing. I can imagine, which is why I don't buy multiple superhero books.
Yeah, I think we've kind of moved on to the independent market. I mean, I think I did that a long time ago.
I did too. I mean, I'm not. I don't.
Even indie superheroes are more interesting.
Yeah, and I don't totally turn my back on superhero stuff. It's like every once in a while there's something that comes out that grabs me, and it was like, yeah, all right.
They get a great writer, or.
But like I just prefer more diverse storytelling in different genres, and
right.
That's the thing, and not by any means. I mean, it's still superheroes are the backbone of the industry. And,
but you can't be everything to everybody,
well,
and that's what they want to be.
Yeah,
you can't be. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah, And there's always going to be other companies that do whatever that's one thing is better than you do it.
Right.
So stick to what you know. Which I mean, like Marvel kind of does that to some point. Is like they don't go too far outside the superhero realm. They dabble.
Yeah.
But for the most part, that's always, like that's why for years I like DC a little better because they had Vertigo, and they did more
early Vertigo.
Yeah,
I just got the Transmetropolitan trade paperback.
Oh, that's a great, yeah. If you haven't read those, they're by Warren Ellis and Derek Robertson. Kind of like a futuristic Hunter S. Thompson. A lot of cool conspiracies. Spider. Yeah, his name's Spider Jerusalem. Really, really good stuff. I mean, Warren's been getting into a little trouble doing some inappropriate crap, but if you could separate the artist from the art, it's really worth picking up. It's a great story. It's a long.
If you like Department of Truth.
Yeah, it's along those lines. It's a more suspense and intrigue, but it also has his sense of humor to it. So there's it's a really good read. It's really good. I think it bears revisiting too because it has a lot to do with politics, but not in a preachy way, almost like in a satire
way.
Yeah, and it's still a little topical. Like if you read it today, it still resonates too with our current shit state of. That's a different show. We'll talk about that, but yeah, it's definitely worth picking up. But yeah, I always thought that DC kind of pushed the boundaries a little more, did more stuff. I mean, Marvel in the 70s was doing great horror, and then they kind of put the squash on it, I guess, as the market goes.
Yeah. Well, now they want to revisit it because horror is really big right now, and they have all this wealth of characters, and they want to get it into movies as soon as possible.
Which I mean, could be good. Because I love all the old black and white horror stuff, and it'd be nice to see some of those. Like we were talking, like they're bringing vampires into the MCU.
They tried to make the New Mutants movie a horror movie, and I haven't
seen that.
Well, Magic is amazing in it.
Oh yeah.
Like her portrayal of Magic, and how they did her, the sword, the dragon, everything is great.
Oh.
The movie takes a long time to get to the exciting part.
Yeah.
It fails on a lot of different levels, but
there's some good points.
There's some really good points to it. But,
I mean, I'm looking forward to the new Marvel stuff. I really Moon Knight especially. I'm a huge Moon Knight fan, so it was like
Did you see the picture?
More so.
The picture of him in his costume.
I haven't seen that yet. I saw him doing the training.
Yeah,
and it was like, it was like they definitely have Moon Knight's fighting style down because it's brutal.
Yeah.
As it should be, because he's a little crazy. So
sort of that punch me again guy.
I'll have to, go ahead, hit me. And it was like, well,
until you're tired.
With the Homer Simpson defense is my head is so thick you'll just punch me until you get tired, and I'll just knock you over. But I have not seen the picture, so I'm gonna have to hunt for that because I really want to see what the costume looks like. I mean, it's a hard thing too, translating spandex-clad superheroes into live action sometimes just doesn't look right.
Right.
And
they definitely went different. They went more of mummy wrapping kind of look.
Oh,
so more like the way Finch draws him.
Mm-hmm. Well, see, my thing is too. As much as I love the character, it was like I'm open for interpretation. It's a different medium, and I don't know if having him flying around in a all white suit and stuff. Are they going to do the glider cape? Or are they going to make it more street level? My main thing is like if they stay true to the core of what the character is. Then I'm on board, and it was like you make a couple. I'm not a nitpicker because
me either, because I just want to see them hit the screen and enjoy them. Like
if it's well written.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So
that's
it's got
one thing.
No, it doesn't look like
there's our man.
Doesn't look like he has the cloak, but I mean.
Well, that's probably going to be CGI'd.
Yeah, I would imagine.
Because they want it to flow a certain way, and you just can't get anything you make.
But I like it because it does to me. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I just. Predisposed for it, but it looks kind of Egyptian-y.
Yep.
Which makes sense with it.
Yep.
And it was like, he's Moon Knight, so should you really have like a giant moon like that? I don't know what that is, but I was like, I could see like they're trying to do interesting. I mean, the crescent on the hood's cool. The hood is cool. Like I like the hood.
Me too. I'm down for like a lot of people were dissing on the hood. They were like, I want to see the peak where you can't see him and he comes in and out of the the hood.
But again, they could probably CG that too. But it was
could,
like it looks cool like that. I like the glowy eyes.
Yep.
And well, I think it's enough of the old costume to, when I look, as soon as I look at it, I'm just not like, oh god. It was
Right.
Like, okay.
Well,
that's
if you look at a lot of the current, it's more closer to the current style.
Yeah.
Like the way Finch has drawn him recently.
No, I actually like the design.
Splats, like the end of the run where Stephen Platt was drawing him. He had that kind of very sketchy, lots of lines and stuff on the outfit too. So
yeah, that's I want to see more. Like I'm not discouraged from seeing this. I think it's cool. Again, they're changing it for the medium, and it looks like it's more darker, like more of a gray than kind of like the moon.
Right.
Like any of the changes they make, they kind of look like they make sense to me. And it
well, how often could you get that white dry cleaned?
Well, that's the thing too. And I mean, like they're in some of the comics, they explain the reason why he wears white is because he wants the villains to see him coming.
Right.
Like he's not like a ninja like Batman, where he just swoops in, beats the crap out of you, and disappears. He wants you to see him coming.
Yep.
And that makes sense to a point. Okay, but I don't know, to make him a little darker. So I think it's cooler, because the thing I like when they did Batman Begins was how they kind of did that. You know what I mean? Like he would just like drop in, grab a guy, like choke him out, and then you didn't really nobody knew where he was. Like it gave him that kind of more scary. The guys were scared of him because they didn't know what the hell his deal was or where he's coming from. And he was like, he just comes out of the dark.
Right.
And I think it's more feasible if you have a darker costume. Then all of a sudden you're not hiding anywhere in a bright white costume.
No.
No.
And if they wanted to go that route, fine. But it would not. It wouldn't translate to the film very well.
I don't think so.
And then also after the first fight, how white would that costume be?
Well, yeah, especially the way he fights. He's a pretty brutal fighter, so he's gonna be. It was like
covered
in the
in
Deadpool
blood.
movie, where he started. He was wearing like that's why he wore red, because so you couldn't see him bleeding all over himself. It was like again, this is the second thing I've seen about the show, and I'm still excited about it. I was like, I want to see what they're gonna do. And as far as I'm concerned, they're all the stuff they've done, even the TV shows, a little quirky. They're trying to do different stuff.
What if?
I haven't seen it yet.
Great.
I saw the trailer.
It was great.
And that looks really good too.
I'll just say it was great. My review is great. Watch it. Great animation, great voice.
It's definitely on the list of things
except for Sebastian Stan, they all had really good voice actors.
Was it not voiced by Sebastian Stan?
He is. Yeah, he's not a very good voice actor.
Because the trailer.
He only has a couple
really
of
good.
lines, so it doesn't take you out of it. But
that kind of animation takes me a little bit to kind of get into, but
I don't know. It worked really well.
Yeah. But I watched the trailer and I was like, well, it looks like they're going to go into some interesting places. So and it's cool, and I like that they did it animated, because then they can do pretty much anything. They could do the most crazy what if stories.
The Watcher, the guy who's doing the Watcher's voice, is awesome.
Yeah, it really, the trailer looked good. It's something I definitely want to watch, and I would hope that they're going to mine some of the old what if comics, because there's some crazy stuff they were doing in that. It'd be pretty cool. A lot of weird alternate timeline stuff, which it seems they're going to bring the multiverse in a big way now in the MCU.
Yep.
Which could be interesting, and that's where you're going to get there's
DC
another way.
should have leaned into that when they were ahead of the game.
Yeah.
They had the multiverse way before. In fact, Marvel people used to say, "Oh, which Earth is that?" They used to make fun of it.
Yeah.
And now they've leaned into it before DC did.
Yeah.
It's just,
there's another way for you to make the characters more diverse, because it's an alternate universe.
Right.
So in one universe,
now
the Hulk's Bruce Banner. In the other universe, it's it's an Asian guy, or it's a black guy, or it's a Spanish guy, and it was like, well, it's an alternate Earth.
Right.
So then you don't have to go into this big elaborate story of why the guy changed nationality. It was like, well, the story's similar, but it's a different world, so it's a different guy, and there you go.
It's great.
Because I love the first what if is it's Agent Carter becomes Captain America.
Yeah.
It was like, that's kind of cool, and you get your Disney girl power thing in there.
Yep.
And I don't feel like
Disney
again,
princess.
Well, yeah, but I don't like that. doesn't feel like they rammed it down my throat. It
Yeah.
was like, okay, that's kind of cool. It was like that. It kind of makes sense that.
And they didn't bring
she
in somebody
might
out
be.
of nowhere. They took a character that was there,
Yeah, that
and
has
then just
a role
shifted
to
her
play.
into the part. And
Yeah,
you know,
it
it
looks
was
good.
in the comics
I'm
in
looking
Exile,
forward to seeing
so in Exile it already existed. So
Yeah, and she was a cool character.
Yeah.
And, like I watched the TV show and it only went a season, but
did it? I
It's a
thought it
very
had a
good
second season.
I don't know. Maybe I didn't catch the second season, but it was good.
I liked it. I
liked
watched it. I watched
thought
all of it.
was really
I thought she was great.
good. Yeah, the actress.
She was
who
great,
played
and the
her
guy
was
that played Jarvis, I thought was really good.
excellent. Yeah, it was a good show. I mean,
It
you know,
was.
some stuff make it, some don't.
All right, so now we spent a whole hour on everything but FOC. So let's hit the FOC. I know the FOC is light this week, so
So what's the word?
we'll be able to get
And
through
yours.
this. And yours, so you'll only be here till 9 o'clock, and then I got to go to work. So we start off with some of the independents, I think. Helm Grace Castle. This is number 4. It's the last one in the set. It's this is the B cover. I'm bringing in only the B cover because I like it better than the A cover. I don't have anybody reading it, but it's got some cool like RPG leanings, and it's got like some rule book and some story for the role-playing game in the back of each issue. So
that's cool.
Yeah, it's something
I've noticed that's been a new trend because Die did it.
Yep.
They're doing it now in DC. Oh God, I can't remember what the heck the.
DC had one years ago. DC Heroes RPG.
Yeah.
I've got some of those
you know.
modules like somebody traded in.
So that's kind of cool. I mean, if you're into role-playing games, there
Yeah.
could be a new something new to breathe new life into the campaign. If not, you know,
If not, you could use it. You could use it for Dungeons and Dragons.
Well,
you
yeah,
could, like
sure.
you don't have to use their world, but you could use the story. It's a very similar world. There's magic users and
When this first came up, I thought it said Helm of Grayskull.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, it's a He-Man comic? I was like, so I don't know if they're trying to get on that intellectual property a little bit. And I mean, it's a fantasy thing, but
yeah, it's weird. It has
yeah.
to do with like the Aztec gods. It's
it's got the calendar there.
yeah, but it's got barbarians in it too, and dwarves and stuff. So, but I like the art, and the read was not bad. It's not bad, and that's on Dark Horse.
Top Cow.
Top Cow. Oh, I'm sorry, Image. Yeah. So we'll move on to the next. So this is the second print of number 1. I had like everything that's coming out horror now has interest. So I'm gonna pick up the second print of this because I think I may have one left in number 1, but you know, if they're coming out with a second print, I like to pick it up. And then did you get to? You didn't get this? Came out last week, right?
No, I didn't
Yeah.
actually.
I think Rico got it. I don't know if you read it. Did you read it?
I haven't got to it.
Haven't got to it yet.
I'm gonna stack this
Yeah.
thing. I'm gonna figure out my
I know I'm a few weeks behind.
Yeah,
so-
there's so much horror coming out now. Before,
Yeah.
if you were a
Have
horror
to-
reader, you got like
yeah,
2 books a month.
It'll trickle like I had Constantine was like my horror fix for a long time.
Yeah.
you know, and it was like now it's making a comeback, which is great. I mean, I like
This
horror
happens
more,
every
probably
time.
more than any other genre. So
If you look
keep
through,
them coming.
yeah, if you look through history, every time there's a big stress
Yeah.
to the country, horror becomes a big thing because
Yeah.
then people need something else to be scared of.
Yeah,
Yeah,
True, yeah,
it's catharsis,
exactly.
exactly. So,
so
and then number 2 is coming out.
so buy the comic and it's
Yep.
for $3.99 you get cheap therapy.
Cheap therapy. Yeah, I don't know how good this is though. So we're getting to number 2. Rico maybe will tell us next week.
I'm
Maybe get a
gonna
chance
see.
to read
Well,
it.
if you have number 1, I'll take it
All
off
right.
your hands.
I might have a number 1 left.
Someone will read it and let you know next week,
If it's any good. But
or maybe both of us will just be like,
the other
yeah,
thing
this
is
great.
that like the movie, if you haven't been watching, we're going to make a movie, and I have a really long title, and everybody told me, oh, the title's too long. Every new book coming out has a super
Yeah.
long title. You, Me, Love in the Dark.
Yeah.
So yeah, ours. You'll remember me because I dismembered you. Not too long.
I think it has a nice flow to it.
It has a nice flow.
It's nice, like blood.
Sounds like 70s, 80s slasher, D.
Yeah.
Right. What do we got next? We got Rick and Morty's Trover. What's this a swipe of? This is X-Men.
Oh yeah, it's the X-Men, the Days of Future Past. Yep.
I can't remember the exact number, but
yeah, but it's from that storyline.
It is from that storyline.
Wolverine and Kitty Pryde.
I got number 1. You know, I figure Rick and Morty fans will pick this up. It's a property book. It's
Yeah.
will sit in the back bin until somebody comes in and goes, "Oh, do you have that Trover book?" Yes. Until I don't.
Someone's excited.
Yeah. Yeah, we're filming at the shop. We're closed, but
there you go.
there
There's
it
the
is.
original, often imitated.
Yep. That's the trade paperback. It's the same cover as the issue, but that's
Yeah.
in the trade paperback because it doesn't have the issue number on it. But
Speaking of He-Man,
love this cover. Man, they've done some really nice work on these.
and Evelyn and Skeletor on the same cover.
Yeah. Painted.
Cool.
Yeah.
Beautiful art.
cover. That's the A cover, and then that's the B cover. I'm getting both those. I have a lot of people buying this. I mean, a lot for us. So like 5 copies.
Kevin Smith is writing it, which
Yep.
should be interesting.
Yeah.
So there
If you
should
haven't
be,
seen the Netflix show, a lot of people are saying it's really woke, blah blah blah.
Really?
It's not really woke.
Oh.
It's not. It's really good writing.
to me, well, for me personally, He-Man's like after my time,
Right.
and I just remember that god awful cartoon that was
Yeah.
horrible. Like, and that's I don't know.
It
that's
is-
kind of my
it is-
my idea. It was like, well, with Kevin Smith writing it, okay.
The writing is a lot better. The story is a lot more interesting.
Mhm.
It's not there to sell toys anymore.
Currently,
Yeah.
well,
Well, yeah.
if you were
there'll,
a
there'll be a
He-Man,
new toy line. Now,
if
so-
you were a He-Man fan, you
Yeah.
won't be happy.
Oh. I don't like that's the thing. It was like it was a kid's show. There was
Right.
really no substance to it. It was like you were saying, it was a vehicle to sell action figures.
Yes.
So there wasn't much substance. And by the time it came out, I was older and I was like, yeah, this is garbage.
Yeah.
I'm not a kid, you know. And I'm sorry if I ruined people's childhoods, but I was a grown man by then. So it didn't do anything for me. And I mean, it could be good. I don't feel there's any bad ideas, just bad writers.
Yes.
A good writer could take the crappiest idea and make it into something interesting.
Something great. Yep. With twisting, and they did. There's a lot of twists to this. So
So it could be good.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll try it out. Maybe I won't.
watch the show. It's actually
Yeah,
it's
go
pretty
watch the
good.
show.
It's pretty good.
Maze
This
book.
is May's book, written by Jeff Lemire. This is his cover. I'm pretty sure that this is his art.
He's doing
um,
the interiors too, I believe.
Is he? Yeah. Oh yeah, cover and interiors. But I bought most of the B cover because the B cover is awesome.
Oh, that's cool.
I
What a
don't.
nice beard he's got.
Yes, I'm not familiar with this artist, Andre
He
Sorrentino or
he
something.
did he was the artist for Gideon Falls.
Oh,
That's
okay.
his co-creator in that. Which that alone, that team together, it was like I would definitely pick up this book because
Yeah.
if you haven't read Gideon Falls, you should because it's a great another kind of horror with a little sci-fi twist to it.
Yep.
A little Twin Peaksy, as far as like the small town with the big evil that's kind of there
Lurking
in the
over it.
woods.
Yeah, in the woods.
They have the Black Barn as opposed to the Black Lodge, but that's the only real similarity. It's a great book, great read all the way through. Finite series, 27 issues, beginning, middle. end.
Right.
That's it.
I love Jeff Lemire's work, so
Yeah.
whatever he's doing, I'm picking it up. I'm bringing it in. Somebody will buy it because he's
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 good.
really good.
He writes great
Yeah.
characters, believable characters.
It's an expensive book, but I think it's got a lot of. I think it's a lot of pages. It's $5.99, but I think it's probably 48 pages. So
You're gonna get.
see.
quite
I
a
don't
bit
know
of
if it's.
content.
I don't think it's a one shot. It's a 1 in 5. So
A miniseries.
yep. Kanto. I don't stop bringing this in just because it sells, and if I don't sell it in the store, it sells on the internet. So
Yeah, people seem to really like the series. And I mean, I really enjoy the artwork. I think the art's great. It's got a really great style to it.
yeah, that's it. It has a style to it. That's its own style.
Yeah, definitely.
It's not ripped off from anybody else.
It's got a
something
lot
new.
of little elements from
Right.
different stuff. You see a little graffiti art,
Right.
some anime, things like that. But
Yeah.
all definitely originally well done. And the story's fun,
Yep.
It's good from what I've read so far. It is a lot of fun. What more can you
And
ask for?
Will Smith's company bought it, so you
So
don't
sorry.
like everybody's like, oh, I have the first series. That series, the money, the value has been going up and up and up on it, and I'm sure when there's going to be an announcement of when it's actually going to come out, then it'll bump again. But you don't
Yeah.
know which one Like
they're
they
gonna base
licensed
on.
it. They
Yeah.
could base it on the middle book, the middle series. So I'm getting
Sure.
all the series. I don't care.
Well, people like it. Why
And
not?
if the first one's a big hit, if they do base it on the first series, they'll make a second one from the
Sure.
second series or the third series.
Yeah.
So don't jump off board. This is genius. Like he does these little short, some are one shots, some are 3 books. This one's a six issue. So don't miss out. Jump on board.
Star Wars Adventures.
Yes, I just get like this is a property book. I mean, IDW is doing a great job of writing this series, so
Yeah,
I just
they've
keep
been,
getting it.
and the Marvel ones have been good too.
Yep.
These IDW have been really good. It's a as far as comic goes, it's a good time to be a Star Wars fan.
Yeah, it's been really
As
true
far
to
as the
canon.
movies, well,
Yeah,
it
the
is
television show,
television shows are good.
Mandalorian,
Yeah,
was amazing, man.
I can't say anything bad about that show. That's
Yeah.
great, and hopefully that's the shape of things to come with their other TV series.
It sounds
and
like that's
movies.
they're getting together, like guys that worked on Mandalorian are getting together with.
Yeah.
What's his name's coming back? Isn't he the original guy?
Boba Fett?
No, the original creator of Star Wars. Isn't he coming back to do another? Lucas. But there was rumors that he's coming back to do one of the movies coming up.
I heard there was talk of him taking over Lucasfilms again, like taking over from Kathleen Kennedy. It was
Yeah.
a rumor, but I don't know if it's true or not.
Well, the word
I've
is
heard a lot
Kathleen
of that
Kennedy.
about that.
She's got one more project and then she's out. Like that's already on the writing on the wall. But we'll
I don't
see.
know how she stayed afloat this long, to be honest. With
Yeah,
you.
no,
I was
and
like,
people
'cause
are like,
she's
"Oh, it's
not-
because she's a woman." I'm like, "No, because she's created bad stuff. There's lots of other like, there's
Yeah.
guys I don't want to be making movies either. J.J. Abrams, don't make my movies."
Yeah, I mean, it's got nothing to do with gender at all. As far as I'm concerned, I just
Right.
think she's mismanaged. He handed them a gold mine, and they screwed it up because they forgot what it's not about pushing a political agenda
Right.
or gender agenda. It's just a fantasy story set in space. That's
But-
all it is. Good guys are good.
I
Bad
actually-
guys are bad.
I actually liked Ray. I did like it, but I don't.
I
think,
did until the second and third movies.
Right, I liked
it
her in the
was like-
first movie, and I
Yeah.
kind of liked her in the third movie. But I think that they missed opportunities of like, oh, we're not going to make her a descendant or somehow related to.
What I got out of that movie
Her
is
parents
they-
are nobodies.
is they
Like,
spent half the movie trying to explain away The Last Jedi and kind of turned that whole thing on its ear because it sucked. It was bad and it went against all the, like the Luke you see in Mandalorian is Luke.
Right.
He's the new hope. He's not the hell with the Jedi.
Well,
I let the galaxy burn. I'm tired.
I
It
could have
was
lived with that. I could have lived with that. The part that bothered me, the part
it's
that
out of character.
Well,
We're going off on tangents again, but yeah.
Well, it's Star Wars. So.
Yeah, it's a Star Wars thing, but yeah,
I could live with that. I thought
comics are great.
I
We
thought
love
to
them.
make the mystery that her parents were like nobody knew anything about her parents, and then they made it like it's something, and then by in the third movie you find out there's absolutely nothing. Her parents were nobodies.
Yeah, well then it was like then she's Palpatine's granddaughter. It's
Right, out of nowhere.
It was like what? It was like that made as much sense with Lando's granddaughter.
Yeah.
It was like oh okay, it was one of those things like when they remade Planet of the Apes and they made the friggin' Lincoln Memorial is a gorilla.
Yeah.
It was like it just doesn't. It's just dumb. Like they're trying. They couldn't do the same ending,
Right.
so they tried to like, oh yeah, we're gonna throw this twist in. It was just it's stupid.
No statue. We're not going to do the Statue of Liberty. We're
Yeah.
going to do Lincoln Memorial.
Yeah, and it doesn't make any sense at all in the context of it. It was like, yeah, we're gonna do this shocking thing, and it's gonna be this big reveal, and it just has no impact and it makes no sense and it's dumb. And there's so many good because I felt The Force Awakens set up a great thing. Like I liked her. I thought she was good. I liked Finn.
Yeah.
It was like, but as that franchise went
Oh.
on, I started to hate everybody. And it's too bad. And
What
you could
was
tell
the
they didn't know
whole-
what they were doing.
What was the whole Finn leaving with the mechanic, going to a gambling?
Oh yeah, you could talk about that for hours.
That like, I would cut that entire part completely out and throw
You're
it
not-
away.
You're not the first person that said that because you had Finn and they didn't know what to do with him. So it was like he needs a story. So they gave him that one.
A
which-
really
which
bad
to me-
one,
Well, yeah, to be as far
and
as
really
it is
diminished him.
it's a bad movie, but that's probably the worst part of the movie. It was like there were some parts in it that were good, but for the most part,
The only thing
so
that would have
read the comics because
Yeah.
they're so much better.
maybe if instead of racing those things, they were Jar Jar Binks. They were riding on the back of Jar Jar Binks, just as a callback to make me laugh.
Yeah.
If it's going to be that bad, go way bad. Go like.
I really wish
Don't do it at all.
Benicio del Toro character. That should have been Han though.
Yeah.
That would have been cool. Or well, the thing that got me, it was like for every other movie, an astromech droid, R2D2, can splice the computers. But now all of a sudden, you need a dude. Now it's taken place, what, 15, 20 years, even longer after Star Wars? So if anything, the technology should have advanced to the point where people would have a harder time doing it. But for some reason, we need to throw the guest star spot in here in this guy, and we have to have our whole like woke message about war is bad, and people and the rich people are bad, and they're making profits and they're selling to book. It was like, it's fucking Star Wars. I don't need you to preach to me. It was like, beat each other up with lightsabers, blow up some spaceships, you know. Give me your good and evil fantasy story in a science fiction setting.
Right.
And that's it. That's what I want. If I want to go see philosophy and all this social commentary, I don't want to see it in Star Wars. That's not why I'm watching the movie.
They did give it from from the beginning. The Darth Vader's in black and Luke Skywalker's in white in the beginning.
Yeah, and
it's that simple.
I mean, it's all
the guys who are creating war, all the bad guys. The guys who are not are good guys.
And that was it. It's like that's what I've always said. It's a fantasy story.
Yeah.
The Black Knight, Darth Vader. You have the young friggin' prince. You know, the guy, the chosen one, and you have Obi-Wan Kenobi's the wizard that takes him out of the home and brings him into a new world. You've taken your first step into a whole new world. It's fantasy, and they did it with sci-fi, which to me was genius.
It may be
great, but don't clog it up with crap that doesn't need to be in there.
It's basically Camelot.
Well, yeah, it is.
Because the lightsaber is Excalibur, and
well, in a lot of ways, it's taken. I mean, his biggest influence was Joseph Campbell, who was like an expert on world mythology. So his stuff kind of
wrote the book Hero's Journey.
Yeah, Hero 1,000 Faces.
Yeah.
He wrote that, which is pretty much all the tropes in different fantasies from different mythologies from all across the world. There's a lot of common ground, and Lucas took like the fine points for it, and he was like, and I'm going to turn it on its ear and put it in a science fiction universe.
Right.
But yeah, keep it simple. Don't preach, please. No preaching.
As we just preached for 5 minutes.
Yeah. But our preaching, good preaching. It's good.
Listen to us.
We are not going to force concepts down your throat. Like who you like, hate who you hate.
That's right.
Okay. Let the hate flow. But moving on, Star Wars comics good, movies bad.
What do we got next? Last Ronin #4. This is almost the last one. There's one more after this. Hopefully, it comes in when it's supposed to come in. We'll see. This has been pushed a couple of times. The whole series has. This may be on time, but it had not been. The whole book series had not been on time. But
Ninja Turtles again.
Ninja Turtles. It's a really cool,
and you got
futuristic
Eastman and
story.
Leonard working together. So
it's really good.
That's cool.
It's been received really well. So, what do we got after this? That's a gimme. That's everybody's gonna buy it. It's Amazing Spider-Man.
Mark Bagley art.
Yep. This just sells.
It's a great. He's one of the better. I guess I don't know if you call him modern day, but I'll call him modern day Spider-Man artist.
Right.
I think he really captures the essence of the character.
He's been around a long time. He knows all of his moves.
How many issues of Ultimates did he do with Bendis? 100 and some odd straight.
Yeah.
With no break. And the guy's a workhorse.
And he did a ton right after Larson on regular Amazing.
Oh yeah.
He took over.
Yeah. I mean, he's one of the I'd say one of the best modern day Spider-Man artists, without a doubt. Great cover too.
Yeah. I brought this. Yeah, I brought this in only because I didn't want to miss if something happens. I didn't want to miss it and not have it.
It's an Avengers book, so you never know.
Well, it could be a new villain. See, I'm not talking about they're going to have a later on, everybody's going to be wearing mech outfits, but they might create a mech that ends up in a movie, and I won't have the first appearance. So, yeah, that's usually involves just Iron Man people like Iron Man, War Machine, and now Riri Williams as Ironheart, Rescue. Like they have enough in the Iron Man's world that not everybody has to wear. But maybe you're right. That might be coming up. Maybe this is the setup for it. I love this cover. Daredevil, Chip Zdarsky is still writing. Yes.
Yeah, he's still writing it.
This cover's fantastic. I love stained glass covers. So.
It always fits with the character Daredevil.
Yeah, he's so attached to the Catholic Church.
Yeah, big Catholic guilt.
Yep. Yep. And they added that was really good in the show. Like on Netflix, that they really tied him to that.
I thought that was really well done.
Yep.
That's the Daredevil. That's a Daredevil I wanted to see.
Yep.
That was really good. But they outside of Iron Fist, I thought everything they did was pretty good on Netflix.
Yep.
I was
in on board on all of them.
Yeah, I watched Iron Fist, but it was like, to me, it was like I can't get past the
ugly stepsister.
Well, it was like, the fight choreography was so bad.
Yeah.
It was like,
because the guy didn't have any experience.
That's what I mean. It was like, why would you do that? It was like, at least with the Shang-Chi movie coming out, that dude's a martial artist. You know, it was like, so you couldn't find a martial artist that can act. It was like, because I mean,
there's plenty of them now, because a lot of guys put that on their resume.
But if I can kick the crap out of Iron Fist, you're not Iron Fist. I'm sorry. And it was like, I'm not Mike Tyson, but I'm pretty sure I could beat that dude up. It was like, and watching him fight, it was like, it wasn't good at all. No. But Daredevil, good.
Good, very good. Zdarsky's just killing it.
Yeah, he's really been doing it.
This is really going to be known as a series to own in the future. It's going to be an iconic series.
It's a great run. He's really done some good stuff.
Yep.
But still kept true of the real, like for me, Frank Miller Daredevil's the definitive Daredevil.
Right.
There's been other guys that have done, like Bendis did a great run, Ed Brubaker too. But I think all the good stuff that came after Miller kind of stems from the template that Miller set up. And I think you kind of need to keep that in mind when you're writing Daredevil.
You know what run I liked a lot? I can't remember who wrote it. Is the one where he goes going across America. Like he doesn't wear the outfit. It's right after the Miller run, not directly after, but
See, I dropped off for a while after that.
It's a really cool series. He goes across America. I forget what the journey's about, but he journeys across America, and of course he runs into all kinds of trouble. But he doesn't have his Daredevil outfit, and it's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool series. I don't think it's more than 4 or 5 issues, but
and I mean this has been really good. It pays homage to the old stuff, but definitely breaks new ground. Does some interesting stuff, but he stays true to what the core of the character is about.
Right. All right, so we'll go. What's after Daredevil? We got Born Again.
I think that was the one that Kevin Smith and Quesada did together. I think. Oh no! Is that the Frank?
No,
Miller
the cover has him on. I think the cover has him either standing next to a motorcycle or. There's one of the issues. Another issue is I think he's holding, there's a sheriff on the cover. He has a run-in with a Southern or Texas sheriff.
Asking old guys to remember stuff.
That's not good.
We'll figure it out eventually.
So next is Deadpool. There's this cover, which I like.
Black, white, and
blood. Yeah, I like this cover, and I like this cover, so I'll get both of them in if they're not. It's not a 1 in 25. So I'll be getting them in. Believe it or not, man, the Deadpool readers have fallen off. Man, I used to be able to sell like 8 or 10 Deadpool, whatever Deadpool shows up. People be like, "You got a new Deadpool book?"
I think he was, he was popular. The 2 movies come out, but when's the last time they've done anything with Deadpool? It was like. I think a lot of those.
They're going to make a third movie, but I just think that the book is so different from the movie that people don't.
That's a problem too. It was where you would think at this point, especially with like Marvel, is they would realize it was like, well, we got a movie out there, and if you do get, I don't know, you would probably see it being in the store. Do you think the movies have generated a bigger interest in comics with people who might not necessarily pick them up, or not really?
The Disney Plus shows more than the movies.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like I mean, anything that gets people into comics, it's good, and I don't know, anything that gets somebody reading.
Right,
I think
and
it's still good to read.
If people come in looking for King Shark books, they're going to be very sad to find
Yeah.
out that he is nothing like the movie. But I enjoyed the movie, and I enjoyed him in the movie. But like, he's very different, very different. So what do we got after Deadpool? Defenders. I love this cover. It's weird style. Kind of has that Steranko, not like feel to it. It's not.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like Steranko, but it has that feel. The composition has that feel.
Yeah,
to
it definitely has his influence in it. You can see it the way it's laid out.
Yeah. Who's the cowboy with the guns on the Defenders? I don't know who that is. But
Yeah, they don't.
that makes it
Yeah.
interesting to me. I want to find out
Who's the guy with the gun?
who's the guy with the guns in the cowboy hat? Is that are they bringing back the original Ghost Rider?
Yeah. Well,
Kid Colt, is he coming?
I don't know.
he find a
never know.
someplace
Yes.
to come
It-
through time. But
Yeah, well, they're gonna bring back the. I'm surprised they haven't tried that already. Is bring back all the Western guys.
yeah,
I know they did. Was it the Two Gun Kid where they made him gay?
is that?
I don't know if it was him. It was one of the old cowboy characters from Marvel. And you know what? I read the series and I thought it was funny as hell. Like
It was
like,
good.
Yeah, it was good. Like it's tongue in cheek, no pun intended, but it was definitely entertaining. It was a fun take on it. It was kind of like they took off, like who was that masked man? Like kind of like that, which you know. But it came out a while ago. I think people have less of a sense of humor.
Sense of
now.
humor for it, yeah. So yeah, I brought in the Defenders. I think I got the other cover, even though I love this cover too. We'll see. Yes, second, no. All right, well,
Only one. Well, it's a
only
good
one.
cover. You
That's
don't
the
need
cover
it.
I
Yeah.
liked. That's
Yeah,
the cover
so
I'm
it's a
getting
good
in.
thing.
That's the thing with a comic book shop. If you don't order the books, I'm not getting every cover. If I don't like the cover, I gotta look at it. If I don't sell it, so if you want a particular cover, come order it. Excalibur. I think this only has one cover.
The
Yeah, I
Call
got
of Doom.
Yeah, I got a couple of people still getting this, but all the X books are not that good right now. So
Yeah, they're kind of like in this weird transition
I
period
think,
where
I
they're.
think Hickman's jumping ship, and
Yeah,
I think he might be mailing
it
it.
started
in.
off. The line started off so strong, and it just kind of lost
Yeah.
cohesiveness, and
And
but they lost me. When they had this first time I read X-Men, and God, it's
I
gotta
think
be
they
like
were
20
paying
years.
him like a showrunner though. Like they were paying him as like a. Not only was he doing the core book, but
Oh,
they were
he's
paying him to
overseeing
like
everything.
keep all the X-Men books kind of in continuity, and
Yeah,
I don't think it kind of worked. So
No, I didn't either. I thought the original concept was cool, and then it just started branching out and went too many ways. Because that's
Right.
the other thing too. It was like I don't want to buy 10 different books to tell a story. I know we go
nobody does.
crossovers and all that crap. Shared universe is fine. But
Right.
don't milk money. Don't try to milk money out of me because I like one series and I want to actually know what the hell's going on, and I have to buy
Yeah,
3
so
other
if you
books
want to
that
do
I'm not interested.
if
in.
you want to do a crossover, here's the thing: whatever book is not doing as well as the other one, have that character
Yeah.
cross over into that character's book,
Sure.
and have something in those two books, and maybe lift that book up a little bit. But
More interesting.
yeah, all these extreme carnages I've been getting in because people want all the characters because of the new Venom movies. Supposedly going to have a lot of.
That's what they say. It's going to be Carnage, but they're going to introduce a whole bunch of other
Yeah.
symbiotes, which could be cool. I mean, the first movie was okay. It
Yeah.
had some flaws, but it
I really hated
was all right.
I really hated the jokey Venom in
yeah.
the trailer. I'm hoping that they kind of that's only that in the trailer that's the only time he's like that. So
Yeah, you don't know what you're going to get now, so but we'll see.
people just love Scotty Young covers, man. I got to bring them in.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge fan, but I know this will sell, so I know I don't have to look at it.
Yeah. Well, he's another one that has his own style.
Has his own style.
Very much in like graffiti art.
Yeah, and there's a lot of people that love it, and people love what they love.
Yeah.
That's why.
I like some of his stuff and some of it, like the more like this kind of like the really really cartoony stuff. I'm not so much a big fan of.
Right. I have one guy that always tells me, "Hey, if anything that comes out Scotty Young, pick it up." You know, he doesn't come every week.
Yeah.
He's a guy that like comes and then he'll, you know, drop like $300 on stuff I got sitting in a box for him. So, yeah, all day long.
That's all right.
Khazar. I'm just getting it because this cover, I really loved it. This is a #1 Lord Savage Land.
Yeah.
This cover just made me go, I gotta get this. I gotta find out what this going on here.
Yeah. Plus, I mean, I haven't seen Khazar in anything in a long time. I mean, yeah. Okay, so he's the Savage Land's answer to Tarzan.
Yep.
But I don't know. I always liked the character. I like in you know, like he did a lot of cameos. X-Men, did some stuff with Spider-Man.
Supposedly something's going to happen in Savage World. Something's coming down the pipe with Savage World, so that's why we're getting a reintroduction to Khazar. So.
Oh, so what are you gonna try and bring into the movies next?
I don't know if the move, like I think they're going to try to do something in the comics, and then if there's a good response to it, then it'll probably move along.
Yeah, it's some of my favorite stuff was with the X-Men and the Savage Land.
Yeah.
Those whole storylines were really cool.
Those were really cool stuff.
I mean, it's something I would check out the first issue just to see. You know, they're trying something different.
It's a great cover.
Yeah.
And I don't really know this artist that well. Juan something.
Cabal.
Juan Cabal. Not very familiar, but I like it.
Yeah.
Something very different. So. They're probably journeymen. If you're not, I'm sorry.
Savage Avengers.
Yeah, I have several people that just get every Avengers book. I only bring in 2. It's kind of nothing really happening in it. There's some stories, but there's not like a lot of.
Oh, this is the Avengers with Conan.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's all I'll say about that. Makes total sense to me.
Yeah.
Like Crom.
Yeah. And probably has great exposition too. Like.
We got Shang-Chi.
Yep.
In time for the movies.
Yep. Great cover. This is #4. It's the Miles Morales 10th. This is a variant. So I'm bringing this in because it's got Miles in the background in his old suit because he has a new suit now. Mm-hmm. And then I don't know if I brought in the other cover. I'm not sure. I don't think so.
I always liked the Master of Kung Fu stuff.
Yep.
They've tried a bunch of different things with him that never clicked with me.
Originally, he really looked like Bruce Lee.
Oh yeah, well that's all he was. He was
right.
pretty much a Bruce Lee ripoff that they were doing in this. You know, when they had the Deadly Hands of Kung Fu magazine come out, which was they were cashing in on the
100% the craze in the 70s.
But I'm interested to see the movie and how they kind of tie it in.
I can't wait because I watched the television show Kim's Convenience with that guy, and he's a good actor.
That's
so
good. And hey, he's a martial artist too. What do you know?
And if you look at the trailer,
he's the real deal.
Yep.
And the fight choreography, from what I've seen, looks pretty amazing.
Yeah. Well, they do the subway car or train car, which is basically the hallway from.
Yeah, I mean, okay, yeah, that's true.
How many times can Marvel do a hallway fight scene?
Well, obviously a lot.
A lot. A lot.
Did it be on Captain Marvel for a little bit?
Oh, Shang-Chi.
That one scene with the scroll. With the old lady.
Oh yeah, she's also has the fight on the train in the Captain Marvel, in the movie. Yep. But all the television shows had some kind of fight scene with multiple people in a. Punisher had it.
Defenders did it. Defenders did it. Big hallway fight. I'm sure Daredevil did.
Oh, 100%. Daredevil's first episode is when he joins the.
I thought that had some of the best fights. Choreography.
Oh yeah.
They really knocked it out of the park with that. And I mean, like Punisher too, different style because he's just freaking brutal. More headshots than I've ever seen in any other TV show.
They say Daredevil's going to show up in the new Spider-Man movie. I hope they fight. I hope it's cool. Like they don't know who each other are, right? Of course, Daredevil would know who Spider-Man is.
Are they going to have the same actor playing Daredevil?
Yes.
That's good because he's perfect for the role. He really is all around. Like he has the physicality. You know, he can actually, you know, the guy can fight. He's in good shape, and he's a good actor. He brings.
Yeah.
Daredevil's a pretty complex character. He's dealing with a lot of crap, you know,
Yeah,
and then he's got that whole burden of the religion on top of him, which makes him, I think,
religion,
is
no
kind of what
mother,
really
like
adds
growing up without a mother.
Yeah, he's got an orphan. He's got a lot of issues.
His father was killed like Batman's dad, you know.
I mean, gunned down by
the
gangsters.
mob. All right, we digressed again.
Yes.
Dr. Aphra. This is just another one of the Star Wars books. This is the War of the Bounty Hunters. Like, it's a crossover that's going really well. I have a lot of people reading it, so
it's really well done. Like we were saying before, the Marvel and the IDW Star Wars stuff, or if you're a fan and you're not reading them, you really are missing out.
Yeah, I got then her on the cover.
And she's a great character.
Yep.
And there's an original one. She was created for the comics, and we're going to see her in the live action sometime,
at some point, for sure.
She's too cool of a character to leave out.
Yeah, they don't. I think they're really saving her for to do her right.
Yeah, well, I hope so, because she is a great character, and it's like a Shades of Grey character. She's not really a good guy, but she's not really evil.
Right, kind of like how Han Solo was in the first movie.
Well, yeah, and he still shot first. I don't even care what he does. Yeah.
And this is the High Republic.
Now this I haven't been reading. So have you read any of these, or
I haven't read any of this, but everybody that has been reading them has been like, I got a buddy who's a big Star Wars fan, and Tom has told me that this has been really good, and he's sticking with it. And there's been a lot of new first appearances.
Yeah, so that's something to look out for from a collectible standpoint.
Yep. Well, this is this is way before. This is hundreds of years before.
Yeah, it's like the Old Republic.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah.
So
older than the Old Republic. Oh. It is the High Republic before the Old Republic.
So they got high before they got old.
Yes. That's probably how you should do it until I get old, and then I will always be high. Well, I'm almost old yet, but I need 3 more years to retire.
You might want to say that online where somebody can.
I'm waiting. That's all right. It's legal in New York. It's decriminalized in New York. It'll be legal in a year. I'm retiring in 3 years. I won't touch. Listen, I haven't touched a drop in 30 some odd years. It's fine. I can wait.
I'm sorry.
All right, what do we got next?
Not that we're telling you to do that, but
no, yes, of course not. But as a bouncer, I never had to break up a high fight.
Yeah, I mean, two guys that were high got into a fight. They would throw punches so slow, none of them would get hurt.
They'd turn into hugs.
And then they would stop, and they both get hungry, and they have to go get something to eat. So fight's over.
Fight's over. Hey, listen, I have some Doritos. Oh man, you're my best friend. This is more of the Bounty Hunters. This is more of that whole series is going on. The crossover.
Yeah, this is the solo book.
I think there's 4 books involved in it. It's not a terrible crossover, and everybody has been really enjoying it. So
yeah, well, you know how I feel about crossovers, and I'm not minded buying a couple of extra books here because it's worth following.
But when it's all 25 books that you print, that's ridiculous. This is the IG-88 figure cover. We talked about this. This is like a property book.
Yeah.
I have people that just buy these. They want to have all of them, so.
It's kind of fun, though. It's a collectible thing.
They'll look great on the wall.
Yeah,
they're going to look great on the wall. If you have the whole collection, it'll look amazing on the wall. What do we got after that? This is second print of the Jabba Hutt #1, which had this character's first appearance. This is a design cover, so she is on one of the covers from the first, so this is not her first appearance on a cover, but it is a second print, and it's pretty much how they designed her, like what they were showing and stuff. So I decided to bring this in because Star Wars fans will buy it. X-Force. Yeah, I got people collecting this. It's an X book.
Yeah, I think we said everything we can about the X book.
How cool is that, though? I love that cover. He's got the sword shoved in the brain of somebody. That's pretty cool.
I think that's the Beast. He's giving a haircut real close to the cranium.
Real close. Yeah. And I think we go into some. This is Army of Darkness. Now, I usually do not bring this book in, but this cover, this is a total will sell because of the cover. Well, it is a #1.
It's Arthur Soydum too.
Yeah.
So he did pretty much all the early Marvel zombie covers.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's done a lot of stuff. He did some stuff for Epic Comics years ago called Charlie and Flytrap, which was just awesome out there stuff.
Yeah.
Amazing artwork, really good stuff. But
He doesn't work as, I don't know if he's does other stuff and then comes back to comics. Like, he not as like always
pretty much does covers
I
and
think
that's pretty much it. Could be wrong, but I mean, like,
this
I
is
noticed
just a cover
this
of him, but
is
I had
a
to
new,
get this.
This has been a new trend. Like, you have the Batman.
Yeah.
You have the different Batmans from different years and stuff like that. And it's kind of interesting, I guess.
Ash is a great character, and Statue of Liberty head is done fantastic, and it's got zombies. So, like, I was like, somebody's gonna buy this.
Yeah, it's a good cover.
Yeah.
It's Army of Darkness. You like it?
Two won't
like
break
it.
the shop.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. You take a chance on it.
Take a flyer. What do we got after this? Elvira. I did a podcast with the writer of this, and my buddy David Lee Madison has an interview with Vincent Price that they taped back in the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to do it Halloween night. It's never been released before.
Oh, really?
It's 45 minutes of like introspective on the horror genre. Who was his favorite actress to work with? What was his favorite movie he was in?
That's interesting.
It's like stuff you've never heard. It's gonna be Halloween night, 31st.
Yeah.
So after trick or treating's done, you can sit down and listen to. And he's also gonna have like Kane Hodder is gonna come in and talk about like his experience sure. Robert Englund is gonna be on the show too.
Oh,
so,
cool. Freddie.
Yeah, it's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be amazing. If
that sounds good. Definitely would check that out.
Yeah, so that's over on End of the Night, which is on. We put that up all the time. So I'm bringing in all these Elvira and the Vincent Price books just to. We'll have them for when that comes out. And
yeah, they're fun books. I mean, it's Elvira, and
it's good. Yeah.
Vincent Price is one of the early masters of horror, I guess. If you would.
He did so much work in the horror genre.
The stuff he did with Roger Corman, all the Edgar Allan Poe adaptations, Master of Red Death, all that kind of stuff.
Pit and the Pendulum.
Yeah. All the House of Usher.
Usher.
It's great stuff. Classic stuff. You have the old school classical actors who just killed the old stuff.
Yeah. Some of these guys who were originally stage actors really.
Yeah.
Are fantastic on some of these films.
They definitely brought a credibility to horror films that it didn't really have before.
Right, what do we got after the Elvira Vincent Price? I got into the two covers, then Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, one of our property books. We get it. If it sells that week, yay. If it doesn't, put it in the back bin and it'll sell by the end of the year. Somebody will come in and go, oh, I'll buy the last 10. Then Betty and Veronica on a broom together.
The Halloween spooktacular.
Yeah, and a blonde and a brunette on a broom. Yeah,
And Sabrina, isn't that Sabrina on the bottom?
Yeah, Sabrina.
What it actually looks like from here, it looks like Sabrina's whipping in the bird.
Yes.
They stole her broom, and she's not happy.
She's not happy, but yeah, great cover. I think that's a Dan Parent. So.
Yep.
Yeah. This is a cover by. I have no idea what this comic is about. It's
a George C. Romero, so it's Romero's son.
It's the second print. I don't remember the first one being offered. This is a famous swipe. The original had a pair of pants on the girl or a skirt. I can't remember.
It's
World War II.
Yeah, like the pin-up stuff.
The pin-up stuff, World War II, and they used to paint them on the bombers, right? This is a little bit more risque.
I think they all had pants. Yeah, they had pants, and their shirts were probably a little lower than that.
Lower than that, but
it was in 1940.
I can guarantee that the 2 issues I'm getting of this will both sell on Wednesday, as soon as I get them in. Now, this book we talked about before. I don't know if this got pushed. This was either last week or the week before. Dead Box from Vault. It has an A and a B cover. I'm just getting the B cover because this is like a red box. You know, the red boxes that you buy your DVD, used to buy the DVDs from. So it's called Dead Box. I thought it was just a cool cover.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And it's a horror comic. It looks like Vault is moving back into the horror genre. So pick it up, see if it's any good. This looked really cool from the cover and the name. He Who Fights with Monsters. I just love that title.
And Ablaze has been doing some interesting stuff.
Yep.
I mean, this I assume is an original story because they've been doing adaptations of the old Conan stories.
Right.
And, Captain Harlock, which is an old anime property, but the stuff that I've read from them so far has really been quality. And
Yeah.
this looks good.
I love the gothic cover.
Yeah.
It has that really gothic feel to it.
Jay Lee cover art. So
And not like goths, gothic cover. Right, so yeah, and Jay Lee does some great art. He is doing the internals? No,
no, it's not doing the interior, just
but
the covers.
it's a great cover. So,
But that's something. I mean, I don't even know what it's about, and I'm kind of interested in just on the strength of the title and the cover.
Yep.
It was something, and again, like we said, a horror book.
Yep.
Horror seems to be having a big upsurge right now, and I mean, as long as people are doing quality work, I'm all for it.
and who doesn't love a Monster Hunter book?
Well, yeah,
Ah.
it's great, done right.
Done right.
A lot
There
of
we
good,
go.
well,
Amen.
That's the whole thing.
Amen.
It was like, but that's definitely something I'll be looking out for and checking it out when it does come out.
What do we got next? This is the last book you ever read. This is
Colin
Colin Bunn. This is the second print. This is a Vault book. You know, Colin Bunn is all about the horror.
Yeah, he's probably one of the better horror writers,
Right.
In comics anyway. I think and he's consistently good.
Right, and was doing it before it was cool.
Yeah, it's true. Yep, he was ahead of the trend for sure.
Yeah. So this is the second print. It's coming out the same week that number 2 is coming out. This cover's okay. I would have likened to be. I don't need the bottom stuff. Like the two people are very interesting in the center. If they were larger in it, I kind of like it a little bit better. I love the blue smoke behind. It has like bones in it or trees in it. Like it has some interest to it, but I think that the quality is not good in those the smaller male characters.
Yeah,
Like
it's a little,
the foreshortening of the arm is not great, and the faces aren't stupendous, but I'm being nitpicky. I love this cover better.
yeah, that's
The
good.
blood in the mouth and
That's something
reading the book.
Has number 1 come out in this yet? Or
Yes.
It's already been out.
Yeah,
I think I might have done the last one.
I think so. That's why I'm getting the
course.
second print. And there's a second print.
Yep, okay.
And Not All Robots number 2. I wish this had a better cover.
You know what these reminds me of? A lot of stuff that Jonathan Hickman does
Hickman
on
did-
his own. He
yep.
does these kind of very, very simple covers.
Well, number 1 had 2 covers.
Uh-huh.
One was Diodato, and the other one, not Perillo, another famous, the 2 amazing covers.
Oh, yeah.
And then they're like, oh, number 2, we're going to give you black, white, and yellow.
Well, they figure they snared you at number 1. You got to get number 2 to see where it goes, so it
Yeah.
doesn't matter what we put on the cover.
Yeah, I think this might be like horror sci-fi, like in that, like,
Yeah, definitely a sci-fi element. Robots in it, you're pretty much guaranteed.
Yeah.
Horror, sci-fi, comedy.
yeah.
I mean, then you got Diodato doing the interior artwork, so that's something kind of worth the price of admission there. He's a great artist.
Did you read number 1, or is it still in your stack?
It's in Gina's stack.
Gina's stack. Ah, okay.
It's even further down.
And Rick and Morty property book. I get
people,
them, and then they
They'll
just
take them up.
disappear after a while.
Who doesn't like Rick and Morty?
I didn't think I would enjoy it. I thought it was going to be really stupid because like the first clip I saw of it, somebody showed me. It was like on not a TikTok, but it was on one of the freaking apps, and it was just a short clip, and I was like, that sounds like just all fart jokes. Not that fart jokes aren't funny,
Yeah.
but like one, I can't watch a whole show
Sure.
of fart jokes, but yeah, then I watched an episode just because I was bored and I laughed my ass off.
Yeah, it's a
great.
good series. It really is.
Yeah, it's horrible. It's not really good for humanity, but
Yeah,
doesn't mean it doesn't make me laugh.
that's why it's good though. You need some bad shit. Everybody's
It's
too
really
afraid
bad.
of go crossing the line. I say cross that line,
A-
jump over it, and
right.
run.
A drunken narcissist, a drunken depressed narcissist who keeps killing his grandson. We don't even know which Morty this is. So yeah. So and then this is a number 3 of a short. This is Rick's new hat. So this is 2 different Rick and Morty books coming out on the same week. Okay, so that's it for comics. These are 3D foam magnets, and there wasn't a lot of pops to order this week, and because of the price point, I said I'm gonna try them. They look so goofy. They probably would sell. And like you just put them on your refrigerator. They're like foam, so they stick. They're
They're
three-dimensional.
kinda like,
Yeah. And I guess you could put them on your car, on your refrigerator, or on your computer. Chucky, I got Godzilla. I'm only showing the ones I got. There was a lot more. I sell so much Hello Kitty stuff.
Not to me.
He,
I just want to clear that up right now.
He-Man.
Michael Myers.
Michael
yeah,
Myers. I think there's a bloody version. I might not have put it up there, but the Mandalorian.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
cool.
that's cool. Then Iron Man. Who else do I got? This Pumpkin guy.
It's a pumpkin cake.
Yeah, Pumpkin King. I don't think he really looks like the Pumpkin King, but all right. Thor.
Or
And they're like chibis, like
Yeah.
the Asian chibis. So
cutesy, cartoony.
is that the last? Might be the last one? Yeah, and like on this week's FOC, there was no pops, so that's why you don't see any pops there. But I've been buying a bunch of collections. If you're into pops, I bought a bunch recently. I got all the Marvel Blacklight ones that were before Galactus. Galactus is coming out in Blacklight, but I have like the Miles, the Spider-Man, the Deadpool, Thor, Captain America, Iron Man, and I think Black Widow. And the boxes are even. Oh, we lost the internet. Oh, there we go.
On to
DC. Yeah, DC will be short.
Yeah, they're
Got
not putting out
Scooby-Doo
a lot of books.
and Batman. These have been doing well for me. I get like 5 of these in now. This has been selling well. People are getting it for their kid. If they're into comics, they're like, oh, is there anything for my kid? And they're like, oh, Batman, Scooby-Doo, he'll like that. So that's been good. Yep. And regular Batman, trade paperback.
Yep. Titty their Tiny Onion guy.
Yep.
He's closing out his run on,
His
on
run.
Batman.
Batman 89 number 2. I've had a lot of interest in this Batman 89. I just finally got more in because of that whole snafu with Lunar. I finally got my Batman books in. They said I never ordered them, and somehow I ended up getting them 3 weeks late. But all right.
Not bad for not ordering.
Right. This is a hardcover of the Scott and Capullo run, the Snyder and Capullo run from the New 52. I did order this trade paperback in because this was good. And I don't have any more of the actual issues of that, and people have been asking about it. So this is where he carries the Joker's head around in the lantern.
I haven't read this series. So
Oh, yeah. Well,
I
how many did I get? I got a couple, yeah.
So maybe I'll have to pick that up.
Batman Detective. I have a lot of Batman collectors, so I get like 4 or 5 Detective in, and they sell. Challenge of the Super Sons. I have a couple of people that are big Super Sun fans. There was such a clamoring to have Damian and Jonathan Kent that even though Jonathan Kent is a 27-year-old man now,
So he's a boy in this one.
but he's a boy in this series. So I don't know where in the timeline this this happens.
Multiverse?
Multiverse, it
Maybe.
may happen on a different Earth where everything is exactly the same except for Jonathan Kent not going
He's
to
young.
space with his grandfather and coming back through a time wormhole, or however they figured out how he grew up fast. Deathstroke, yeah, look at that. That's, great cover, great character. It's a #1.
Deadpool's dad.
Yep, Deathstroke Incorporated, #1.
It's always an interesting character.
I want to try and read that because I haven't read any Howard Porter. That's the artist. Who's
Yes.
the Jason? Oh, it's
Joshua
Williams.
Williams.
Yeah, that's who's going to be taking over. That's the word is that's who's going to be taking over Batman.
Oh, so yeah, it might be cool to see what his style's like. Pick
Right.
up Deathstroke. See. Yeah, I've always liked Deathstroke as a character. I thought he's interesting.
Yeah.
Since when they introduced him in the Teen Titans.
Very dark.
Yeah.
Look at that.
very
That's a
cool.
Matina
Yeah.
cover.
Yeah,
You know I'm getting that.
Yeah, well, I mean, he doesn't disappoint, that's
No.
for sure.
It doesn't. And this is the C cover. It's Adam Hughes cover.
yeah.
So let me see. Fishnet stocking.
got the Black
Canary,
Canary,
Black
yeah.
Canary. Yeah, we'll be getting that. There's a lot of people that just collect Adam Hughes. So
Well, I mean, and he
this
draws
is a 1 in
amazing
250. I still don't understand how this works. You don't have to buy 250. It's like you get in with a bunch of other people that are buying, and it counts.
So you don't necessarily have to buy 250 Deathstroke books. You just have to buy 250 DC books, and they give you one of these.
I still don't understand.
I don't know. If I had to buy 250 books, I would have a Deathstroke of my own.
So it's tough
that
for
a
a small
joke,
shop
folks?
to get these kind of things, but
Yeah.
like, and then I don't like if it's not going to be worth $250.
Yeah.
It's not worth it for me to
I
even
mean,
buy
to
250.
be honest with you, I like the last cover way better. Than
Way
this
better.
one.
Yeah.
And that one you don't
The
have
Matina
to buy it
cover.
to- Yeah, yeah.
Matina cover
Yeah.
is so much better than
yeah.
that.
That's what I'll buy. I would buy that for $5.99. No problem.
Yep. Yeah. This is another cover.
Cover E.
This is a 1 in 25. I like the style of this. Still like Matina's better.
Yeah, this is like the old I don't know what you call them, pulp adventure novels.
Yeah.
They're like the old like
Yeah.
what's it, Destroyer.
They even
and
put the
those kind of
yeah.
stuff
They
like
did
that.
even put the distress on it and everything. Right.
Yeah, it looks like an old
Yeah.
paperback, adventure paperback, which is cool. I like when I love when they do stuff
Yeah.
like that.
But I'm not buying 25 copies to get it.
Well, yeah, it's not that cool.
This is a trade paperback from the beginning of Far Sector. Her stock is moving up. If if I was a speculator out there, I wouldn't be worrying too much about Marvel. All I'd be doing is buying DC all day because it is so undervalued. As high as values are right now, the Naomi book is like maybe $100. It's probably even cooled off again. You probably may be able to find Naomi #1 for like $50. She's got a television series coming up.
Yeah, it's gonna go up for sure.
This character, which I can never say the name correctly, Sojourner, I think is what her name is. Yeah, Sojourner. She is probably going to show up in the Green Lantern TV show, and she's a recent. Her first appearance is pretty cheap. Yeah, you probably find it for cover in some shops too because it's been sitting so long. So.
Might be something to look into.
Yep.
Gotham.
Future State Gotham. This has been a good book. It's been a good book. So.
Joshua Williamson again.
Yep.
So there I get a taste of him writing Batman before he takes over the big book.
Yep. Hardware, I'm sticking with these, even though they're not selling in the shop. I guess they'll sell online or whatever. But the writing, I read the first one, and not of Hardware. I read the first one of Icon and it's too old. I forget the other character, but it's two people in the one. Icon is one, the other character, and I liked it, and I thought the art was really strong. And all these milestone books, they've been really quality, but in my shop they haven't been selling. They might be selling somewhere else. I don't know, but I'm gonna keep bringing them in. Harley Quinn, I have my Harley Quinn readers, and it's a funny cover. So
Yeah, it's more based on the animated series.
Yeah,
Which
yeah.
I've seen a couple of episodes. It's a fun show.
yeah, it's a 1 through 6.
I'm surprised at the stuff they actually get away with on
Yeah.
the show.
Oh.
One of the great things Batman went down to Catwoman and it caused conflict with
Yes.
everybody,
Yep.
Yep.
And I've actually seen they've made T-shirts. So if you look online, you can find a T-shirt of Batman doing the deed to Catwoman.
Nice.
Yeah, not sure where you would wear it, but it's there if you want it, and it proves that heroes do that.
Is there like an artist or writer for one of the Batmans that shared a picture of that? and
That's
said,
what it
"Yeah,
is. Yep. And that's what somebody made it into a T-shirt. He just did it as a joke, and I think he pissed off a lot of people. But at the end of the day, they're fictional characters. It was like, okay, come on. It was like they wouldn't really have sex because they're not real. It's lines on paper. Relax,
That's right.
people.
Right. This is I Am Batman number 1. 0 came out this week. This is a great Oliver Coipel cover. I'm not too sure what I Am Batman is about. I think it may be the whole next Batman.
It's future state Batman.
Yeah. So I think that the character has changed again. I think it's Tim Fox is going to be Batman.
Oh yeah, they passed
the brother. I guess the brother didn't work out.
Oh.
Like everybody wanted it to be Tim Fox, and they were like, "Haha, it's his brother."
Yeah.
And then they were like, "Oh, everybody hates it's his brother."
So haha.
Haha. That was just transitional.
Yes, course correct. Don't look at
So-
the man behind the curtain.
I could be wrong, but that's kind of like
Yeah,
that's the thing is
probably.
DC really hasn't been making themselves clear. So
And now the future state thing, that's a whole, it's just Batman, or they're doing it like kind of company-wide?
Gotham is like there are some books that survived and others that didn't.
Well, I have a suggestion. How about Drunken State?
Drunken
And it's a comic book about superheroes going out drinking.
drinking,
There you go.
or just written
Call
by
me,
drunks.
DC. Call me. Drunken State. Gold Mine.
And this is the Greg Capullo cover, which I'll be getting that because look at it.
Yeah, that's a really cool cover.
Yeah.
Very, very cool.
Capullo always gave it that monstrous feel, you know.
Yeah.
I always like that. And a Matino cover, yeah.
Yeah, he's pretty. I mean, I can't really say I've seen any covers he's done. I'm just like, they're all like, you look at him, you know, that could be like a poster for a movie or something.
Yeah,
You know,
his composition is always great too. Like, there's a lot of guys that I'm like, oh, you're such a good artist. That was such a bad composition choice sometimes. Or can you make another composition choice?
Well,
like-
he's really good
Like
at,
Liefeld.
at like capture. Oh God.
3 guys standing behind rocks.
Yeah, so you can't see their feet, their hands, or the guns that look like silver tubes.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the only guy who's been drawing for 30 years and it's gotten worse. We could do a whole episode on what Ken doesn't like about Rob Liefeld's artwork.
Yeah.
I could tell you what I do like about it.
It's fast.
Don't want to bash the guy. Never met him. I'm sure he's a nice guy, but I still don't understand.
Actually, from what we hear, he's not.
Oh, he's not? All right, then screw him then. You know what? Your art sucks and so do you, okay?
There's a whole video.
I don't like, it was like, I don't understand how he still gets work because he's a bad artist and he's not a
Marvel's
good
given him a
writer.
lot of work recently.
Who bought-
A lot.
If you are buying Rob Liefeld stuff, please come into the store so I can smack some sense into you. Why? It was
They
like my
love it.
13-year-old son knows anatomy better than he does. Come
Yeah.
on.
They want to see pockets. They
It's
like
probably
pockets.
not a good,
They want
pockets,
pouches.
bags, yes.
Yeah.
And swords that defy gravity and guns that somehow magically shoot even though they look like a silver toilet paper roll. Sorry, okay. So all you Rob Liefeld fans can send me hate mail. That's great. I'm a jerk.
1 in 25. I love it, but I won't be getting it. I really like this cover, the cover, but sadly, I'm not going to buy 25 issues to get that. This is a trade paperback that looks interesting, but I didn't bring it in. Joker number 7. You bet everything Joker sells. You put him on the cover of anybody's book.
You got James Tynion right.
Yep.
So get all his Batman stuff now. 'Cause
He's
today
leaving
he's
Joker
not
too,
gonna
so you
be
might as well
around,
get
yeah.
it until the end.
Until it's his last issue.
Yep. This is a fantastic cover, man.
Yeah. Derek Robertson.
Yep.
We said originally from Transmetropolitan.
Yep. So Justice
great
League
cover,
Justice League Last Ride's got Darkseid in the background. It like the constellate, like it's just great. What great! Remember we were just talking about composition?
Yeah, that's great. It's a simple image, but it
Right.
really works well.
And all the small characters are same proportionally.
Yeah.
Right. They all look around like they're like sitting next to each other. They're all the same size.
The campfire and the way he does the
Yep,
the light
the
source
lighting.
and stuff and the shading's really well done too.
Great job. Lock and Key. I have a couple of people that are collecting this.
It's Joe Hill,
Yep.
Stephen King's son. If you don't know,
Yep.
he's a great horror writer in his own right too. I've read some of the Lock and Key stuff, and there's a Netflix series.
Yeah.
Lock and Key too.
Yeah, they
so
canceled it though, and it really wasn't bad. I liked it.
I haven't got a chance to.
This
to
is
watch it.
Lock and Key is connecting to the Sandman universe.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess some of their
I've read some of the stuff. The
some of the
Lucifer
doors
series
may.
was- the Lucifer series was really good.
Yeah.
The Constantine was really good, which I'm kind of bummed they haven't done anything with Constantine in the comics now. So they kind of I don't know.
I think he's still in Justice League Dark, but I don't know if he's a reoccurring in Justice League Dark or just makes appearances. So
I always liked his solo book better. 'Cause
Yeah.
you got it was
It's way more
keep him-
occulty.
well, yeah, I like him when he's not really involved with the superhero side
Right.
of the DC universe. It's like stick him on the occult side.
Yep. What we got next? This is the other cover to the Lock and Key. I like the other one better, but this
Yeah.
one's got Sandman. I'll probably bring it in also.
It's got the key to hell.
Yeah, I don't get yeah, the Key to Hell's there. Is that a third cover? Yeah, there's a
it's
third cover. I don't know if I'll be bringing that in.
Yeah, it's weird. It looks like a Kelly Jones artwork, but it's not.
I don't bring in Mad.
The Mad Barf Bag.
Yeah, it's just the cover to Mad.
I didn't even know they were still publishing that.
Yeah. DC owns it now, so. Pennyworth, I'm bringing that in. I didn't get a chance to read number one, but I really want to read number one. This is all going to be canon. It's like these stories have never been told before, so it's him when he was a secret agent kind of thing, working for the British government. So I think it should be really cool. This is a scout book, Redshift. I stopped getting this. It was not selling. I can't warehouse it. Definitely hardcover. This is the hardcore fourth book. If nobody ordered it, I won't be getting it, but somebody may have ordered it. I can't remember.
Yeah, it's the same. It collects the original Sandman.
Yeah, but it's like the fourth of the hardcover. So like unless you're collecting all of them.
Yeah.
Second Coming, the original series, I did bring in the whole original series, but I did not bring in this reboot, not reboot or whatever, second new series, second volume or something, whatever you want to call it. Snatched number 2. I can't remember if I brought in number 1. I probably ordered this because of the cover.
You like dogs?
Yes. Solar Flare, this is a trade paperback. Also a trade paperback. Supergirl has been selling really well, so I'll be bringing that in. It's only an 8-issue series, so. Superman the Authority, I'm bringing this in. I have had no interest in it at all because
Number
a lot
one
of
come out?
yeah.
Do you have one here?
I should.
I may take it off your hands, but only because
You do
well,
love the Authority, right?
I like the Authority and I like Grant Morrison,
Grant Morrison.
so I'll give him a shot because
Yep.
I really think the Authority needs a new series on his own. Why they paired him with Superman, I don't know. It was like they should have just kept him on his own. 'Cause
They should.
it doesn't seem like from my favorite version of the Authority wouldn't really gel too well with Superman and the way he does things as opposed to
Right.
the way they do things. But it's Morrison, so
Yep.
I'll give it a shot.
I'm
He's
just
really good
wondering-
at just doing interesting
I
stuff.
can't see the page that well of the Superman. Is he wearing fingerless gloves?
He's wearing gloves.
Oh, he's just wearing gloves. Okay, no cape, gloves. So this might be an alternate universe Superman at that.
Possible.
If you look at the S too, is very different.
Yeah.
And it looks like he's wearing joggers.
Yoga pants.
Yoga pants. Yoga pants Superman.
Yeah.
So, but I am getting that in because I too love the Authority.
Yeah. I'm definitely check that out.
I don't know if I brought in this cover or not. This is the new Son of Superman. People who just collect Superman and still getting this book. So, this is Teen Titans, but it's Titans United. New series starting 1 through 7. Definitely going to get that. I'm guessing.
Tie in with the new season of the series.
Yep, and I don't think it's going to tie in with that, but I think we might see new characters. Titans United sounds like they might be expanding.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, bigger team.
No, the team, so they might be creating new characters. We'll see.
You got Hawk and Dove in there, and a lot of the other characters. Huh? That's cool. I've only watched the first season of the show. I just like Doom Patrol way better.
Yeah, the first 3 of this season has been, of the 3rd season is really good.
I'll have to check it out again.
This is Titans. This is a different cover. I probably won't get this cover. This is a 3rd cover. That's a 1 in 25. I know I won't be getting that. Wonder Woman 779. Cover A, definitely.
Dead Man.
That's it.
That's all.
That's DC and Marvel and all the rest done. Thanks for tuning in to the second part of the show, since we had a power outage and had a reboot. We didn't have any live viewers, but we do appreciate you watching it on the replay. And subscribe, like, share, tell your friends.
Keep reading comics.
Keep reading comics.